Hello, today we're gonna present the final case, New Heritage Tool Company. We are Team 8 and the members are Luis Fernando, José Vicente, Eduardo Barbosa, Pablo Zamorano, and Majo. First, I'm gonna introduce to you for this case. And the case is about a doll company that faces a difficult decision between two projects, and they want to know what is the best investment, the best project to invest. And we calculate the MVP, the tier to help the company to have the best decision. And next, a little bit of context about the two projects. The first project is Match My Doll Clothing. That is a clothing line that includes seasonal clothing and accessories for the dolls and for the girls into a full year collection covering all the seasons. And the other project is Design Your Own Doll that proposes unique and personalized experience to create your own doll using interactive software. And this helps to have an emotional connection with the product and engaging brand loyalty.
Well, this is our first part of the project that is Match My Doll clothing line. And well, first of all, we need to calculate the net income for the period. So we need to sum the change, the EBT, that's mean the earning before taxes, plus change in taxes, that is 40% tax rate. And then we need to use this next formula, like this example, that is an NCF that is equal to net income plus depreciation, mean less capital expenditure less net, the NWC. And well, the first to get the net cash flow, we need to help us to show how much money comes and how much money of the business are during in that specific period of time. And then to calculate the cash, first we need to calculate the revenue per minimum of the cash balance of the percent of sales. The second one, that is the cost receivable, that is the equal to revenue per day sales outstanding between 355 days. Then to calculate the inventory, that is the equal to total production cost between inventory turnover. The account payable, that is equal to total operating expenses between 355 days per days payable outstanding. And the last one, the NWC, that is equal to cash plus account receivable plus inventory less account payable.
Okay, the next steps, we are going to calculate the next cash flows. In this project, which we help and determine how much money flows and in out of the business during a specific periods, we must first calculate the next income for each periods. So we need the first the plus with the change NBT and the plus the change in the text that it was mentioned in the cases for the 40% of the taxes. Um, the next stage is the depreciation. The depreciation is which decreasing the value on the asset over time due to usage obsolete on the pieces of the time. It's only from the table. The next, we subtract the capital expenditure, which represents in investment and assets the rights needs to develop and long-term projects, and include the change and the net working capital, in which reflects a difference in new and net working capital from previous periods. And finally, the formula we calculate net cash flows. We have the net incomes plus the depreciation minus the less capitalization expenditures minus the less net working capital. Okay. The well, what is the okay? The next, please. No, no, no. The previous, please. Okay. How you can see in the 883.16, well, it's calculating the years, the next in the future periods. It was or it will we will it was and 2021 years. So has it how we can how we can calculate in this part has in the years and 2010 represent 2010 years represent the next invest. It's not it's considered a period from the 2011 to a 2020 years to cash flow using the calculate and net present value. Well, how we calculate in this part, it's necessary that we can calculate the terminal value, and the terminal value we had a 3%. So it's necessary that we use the next step value. For example, in the next cash flow 2021, it's equal to net cash flow and 2021 multiplied with once plus the 3% terminal value. And finally, can and calculate what is how is the calculate the cash flow in the 2020 years. We use a net cash flow 2021 between the 8.4% WACC. I mentioned a 8.4% WACC is the measure of the risk, okay? And the WACC, it's mentioned of the case. It was a good opportunity and it's a medium risk. So it isn't a high risk on the low risk. So it is a medium. Um, terminal value, it was 34 cents. And plus the next net cash flow in 2020 and next class, next and net cash flow. Okay. The next, please. Okay. What is the next step? The next step is we are going to calculate the NPV and internal return and payback period and profit index. Okay. The first is net present value. Remember the net present value is represented the time the value of the money. It was determined the cash and flows of business about the projects, and it was in comparison between the different projects. For in this case, remember these projects, it's it's called in this project, it's called, let me see, how do you say, a new heritage the old company represents, and the other projects, it's on their own, though close I represent. I don't remember. That's it will be mentioned with my other other companion. Okay. Uh, well, we have a net present value, and we have a net present value. We have a determine accurate comparison between the cash flow, different period. Remember, for this calculate, it was an Excel. What is the method? We use an equal NPV, selection of the WACs and the periods, a comma and the periods they want. Add two tenor periods, minor EIPC and a net investment, and it was an 3020. Okay, remember that for this project an investment invest it was at 70,167. Six no, 167.16, which makes is acceptable for the rollers. It's measure of the zero. Okay, the next part of this internal rate of return. What happened? Remember the return on return is a venture capital, the quantified return. It's except for formula using a calculate. Is the same. We calculate with the Excel is it equal that we use the E double R and the period zero plus the tenth. So in this case is represent a 24.04%, which is higher that see this count is a company's great opportunity at making a project and in this project. Okay. The next part, payback periods, is the reference how much time we are recover the the money about the investment. So in this case, we recover in 7 years and some 5 months. And finally, probability index is how we can profile we can get profiles in this project. So the same, we calculate with the Excel. In this project, we generate 3.37 per 1 pesos invest. So we have a result and 2.37 per 1 pesos. Okay. Then next, please. Okay, my companion are explaining the next part. So I mentioned in the next projects, for example, we can calculate a part of the cash or the account receivable and inventory is the same method. Okay, can you explain, please?
So yeah, up until this point, the investment decision cannot be made yet. So I will explain the design your own doll project. So as my partner explained, the procedures are going to be the same. So we can move forward a little bit faster with the next slide. So the only main difference that we're going to find, so we can move on to the next one, please, is going to be the difference in WACC. So instead of the 8.4% value, we're going to have a 9% WACC. So moving on with this one, we can continue with the explanation of the MVP and, well, etc. All the other stuff. So the next one, please. So yeah, in this case, for the design your own doll project, we have that the net present value gave us back a value of $7,112.14. So that means that this project is going to be generating more value than the 9% shown in the cost of capital, the WACC. So this result is going to demonstrate that it is worth pursuing as it creates more wealth for the investors. Now, with the internal rate of return, the result we obtained was 17.95, suggesting that this project is going to be highly profitable in comparison with the 9% on the WACC, creating more value for the investors. The payback period, if I'm not mistaken, gave us back a result of 9 years and 1 month. So this means that while the project might be considered as, profitable, the substantial returns are going to be not acquired until later in the project. So in this case, as we can see it in the 10th year, that it gave us back a result of $26,230. And finally, the profitability index is gonna be $2.33, meaning that in this project, we are gonna be earning the previous amount by each dollar invested. As well, as it shows more than double the investment in value, this may seem quite compelling for the investors.
Finally, after all the analysis and calculating the internal rate of return, the payback period, the net present value, we have as a team four recommendations. The first one is prioritize the match my doll expansion. The second one, consider the design your own doll is have like a quicker return and preferred. The third one, evaluate market trends before making a final decision, as customization may have growing consumer. And finally, is possible pursue both projects to balance immediate returns with long-term growth. And finally, the conclusions. Both investment proposal for new clothing line expansion offers higher internal rate of return and net present value, indicating better long-term profitability, but with a longer payback period. The design your own doll project has a shorter payback period, but lower internal rate of return and profitability, making it less profitable.
Thank you so much.